Okay, so let's go back. So thank you everyone who joined in this blockchain community management system brainstorming session. So at the beginning, I would like to tell you about what we will do. And first of all, let me introduce. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Let me introduce your presenters today. So Tomas Hoogkamer, who is senior business analyst, active participant of our blockchain community, writing a lot of use cases and made it with wonderful researches, and me as host, Andrii Vyazovskyi, the senior business analyst in EPAM and active community member too, but probably not so much as Thomas. Let's start the session. Let me show you an agenda. So we'll have a brief introduction for the brainstorm. We'll tell you about what is about the blockchain community and why it's more specific and why it's different from any other communities. Then we'll go to brainstorm session, and as I assume, we will finalize with Q&A. So first of all, the token curated community, what is about, what it is, and why it's different. So the token curated communities are theirs, like as we call them. So that's the community well strangers, total strangers to each other, can trustfully interchanging information, rely on each other's mentionings, comments, experience, and actually doing some really valuable work or job together within this community. And the information which we are sharing with each other within this community is equally trustful, is actually we know each other like face to face. So let's go and take what kind of things could be like outcomes of the community. So as any regular community, we know that the community, the biggest outcome is the kind of list of outputs. It could be an articles, it could be an information that community provides to its members, to its participants. And in our case, it could be kind of a list, it could be like more valuable information about the blockchain, about such a things which community can provide, like researches, articles, and whatever it could be. And I think during our brainstorming session, we'll discuss it in a more colorful. And but the another thing which is differentiate the token curated community from other, it's like token itself. So token is kind of an intrinsic token, allows to provide the like value recognition to its members, and that's the kind of one side of the token. From the other side, it could be a really powerful not only motivator, but the powerful voting system for any other activities within the community. So that's why we like trying to combine here together the effort of people who is actually contributing within the community, effort of people who are willing and want to develop the community, and for sure we want to bring here the kind of monetization of this value, not only in like way of let's say the mental way, so like you're rewarded with something like but with ability to bring and show how it actually works. So let's take a look more precise. So I've presented here a kind of not ended list of stakeholders who actually can be within the community. So like kind of consumers who are desire to find the high quality information and who willing to rely on this information, share it as the like information as a reliable information at the trustworthy information. The creators who actually wanted to pay attention to some topics, want to work in some areas within the research, within the different kind of activities, which can help to gather, gain, and provide such a high quality content. Another part is token holders. So the ones who actually like want to have these tokens, hold them, and let's say want this price of these tokens to increase, and it could be as a the regular tokens we're getting to within the digital assets. Like we'll see the tokens which are traded on the different exchanges, cryptocurrency exchanges, and that could be the same thing for the token holders as well. And I'm not ended this list, so I don't want to, let's say, limited your imagination of who is actually can be presented within this community, who could be the stakeholders, who can influence on the decisions of the community, and most important, how to influence on these decisions. So that's where we started with. And another thing is our token, which is actually can help us to realize what token could be. So token could be a value, token could be a reputation, token could be can bring us like reputation is can reflect who is actually cares more about community, who doing a lot of job for the community. Token could be an equal to privileges because it can like as much tokens you earn, as much tokens you have, as much as like proof of stake you can have within the community. So, and of course, as the previous one, I'm not ended the token, as you can find what kind of things token could be as well. So let's move on to brainstorm. But before we will do this, I want to ask Thomas to tell a bit more what is about blockchain community reward system, and what this idea came from, and what we are going to brainstorm during this session. So Thomas, please take a word.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everybody. So before we start with the practical part, because what we want is to have a community that does what the community finds relevant. So that's why we thought it may be a good idea to come up with a so-called community reward system. So the idea is to develop that blockchain community and reward, say, community value with tokens, and that way create a self-sustainable, self-organizing community reward system. Could you go to the next slide, Andrii? Oh, yeah. Uh, the, the outcomes of this session, and since we only have half an hour, I'm inviting everybody to continue working on the practical part for the remainder of this week. So if you have an idea, just continue putting it onto the board. We will see in a couple of minutes. But the outcome should be that we ideate on what that community looks like. And the idea is indeed that in the end we are going to create such a community. So we also we both need to look into the functional side of things, but also what I call architectural enablers. So in the end we have to implement it. So also specific technical intricacies are very relevant to note down, so we can take them into account when constructing our community. And again, in the end, the outcome should be a working community reward system. Next slide, please. There on the board, maybe Andrii, you could already paste the URL to the Mural board.
Yeah, sure. Let me copy it.
Andrii actually created a special mural board for us. There is a number of questions on that board. And if we then could go back to the...
So you can find the link here in the chat and actually go by the link. So let me show you the mural board. It's not require any registration, so you just can go by the link and join that. And okay, let me.
Could we switch back to the presentation?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then the yeah, so there's basically there's a number of questions in there, and I want us to brainstorm on what we actually see as a community value, and to elaborate a little bit more on what Andrii already mentioned regarding stakeholders. So it may be obvious, but maybe we forget about stakeholders, and since a community, a self-sustainable community, actually has the stakeholders interact with each other in a self-organizing and an independent way, it is important that we kind of identify all the relevant stakeholders. And then there's also a question on what interactions we foresee. So what are, for instance, main network features? Next slide, please. And then, say, regarding the architectural enablers, there is also, say, we want to look into what token standards we should be looking for, because of course we can just pick any specification from the internet. But then we can, the beauty of tokens, especially DLT powered tokens, is actually that we can actually define them ourselves. And extend any generic specification. Also, I want to have highlighted, for instance, things like a reference architecture, because it's not only about the network, but maybe we want to have also features like zero knowledge proof included and things like that. And then lastly, about integrations, because we can have a community, but then the question is, what can we do with the rewards we earn in that community? We could use them for voting, but could we also maybe extend that community to outside of EPAM and kind of invite external people on that community to make the interactions more valuable? It's all open for brainstorming. And I think with that, we are ready to go to the mural board.
Let's switch to the mural board. Let me just tell a couple of words about the navigation of Mural. So on the right side, for those who is not like working with that before, so on the right side you can find the navigation part. So by the idea or stakeholders value. So you can click on that. You will like quickly navigate to, let's say, the idea. You can read it. So we'll put it here so to remember what we already have. The stakeholders as well, value, desirable outcomes to be ready to be able to reference for that. Then we can go to the questions part. So that's at the top of our board. You can find top 5 questions. So first of all, what kind of activities can be valuable for the community? So we start with activities and actually finalize with stakeholders. So like not to waste the time, let's start with that. And on the practical part, let's show you how it works and what we can do with all the things. So the first thing is what kind of activities can be valuable for the community. And we just as example give you like a hint or a clue that it could be articles, presentation, use cases, discussions. architecture implementation, and much more other activities which is actually you can add here in a position of question one. So you can take any the sticky note, put it in a question one, like write what kind of activity you think could be valuable, like participating participating in conferences
And I think
with
there's
some topic.
I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 colors at the moment, but if there's more people, 6 colors, I think 6 colors. Yeah.
Yeah, but I see in the mural we have only me and you, so probably need to ask guys.
Oh,
Do you have
Share
any?
the link,
yeah.
please, because I don't see the link and I don't know how to
I think
go there.
link in the Zoom
No, in the
in the
Zoom
chat.
there.
Yeah, you can find the chat in
Okay.
the Zoom.
Yes, I'm going there. Yeah.
Can you see it?
I'm in a process.
Okay. Guys, everyone else,
Irina
have
and
you?
Joe, did you also
Sorry?
find the link? No, I'm asking Irina
Oh,
and Joe.
guys, have you found the link? Do you have any?
Yeah, I have the link.
Oh, okay, great.
I'm going in.
It just requires to create an account. So
Really? No, you don't need to.
No, you can enter as guest.
Yes, you as a guest. Just
they didn't give me that option
really?
at all.
Should
Yes.
shouldn't.
Oh.
Now it's
No,
insisting that I'm a robot.
Yes, I haven't
Mm,
access this mural.
let me try to share with you another link.
Just once.
Probably it will work better. So let's take a look with this one. Maybe it can give you an ability to join as a visitor. Oh, I see someone actually already. No, I see Rena as a shark just joined us.
And I'm not sure if I'm the snail, but
yeah, you're a snail, right?
Okay.
Sasha just joined with S&P.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to understand who am I. Yeah.
yeah.
So
that's the first question we actually have for current moment. Actually, in the mural, you've got the option. If you right click on the presenter, you can opt for following him. So your mural in your browser will just put you in those area which is actually right now presented within the and discussed with the presenter. So that's the first question. So activities, as you can see, I put the first activity for the question. If you think that this activity is not much interesting for you, but you like more desire to take about outcomes of the community or about talking or community reports, or even you think that we missed some stakeholders and you're like, I want to add someone. So that could be a great thing. So you can easily take the cards with the ideas and put it here. And we would be really glad if you want and willing to take more about that, because we understand that half an hour for the brainstorming session, it's not too much time. We will be glad to continue those session with everyone who are glad to join our community and discuss it, like let's say more. So after this, our Z days will finish. We will take those boards, share with you guys, showing you what already we have, and I think we will be able to conduct another session where we will ready to like gather those things or those cards by categories and vote for those cards which is actually the most, let's say, which everyone will likes more, and picking up some of them and I think like put them in our backlog for the like upcoming implementation within our community. So okay, what I can say, we see the invite and referring new members. Yeah, it's a good activity. So let's start a referral company. Internal speakers. Yeah, so what about external experts within the community? Let's say there's someone who is not willing to participate in our community.
Well, that's exactly what I mean by external speakers. Like
Oh,
we do
okay.
have community events,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, if you can rephrase that, you can rephrase that. But basically, I think that's a valuable activity of the community members, which we want to reward,
Mm-hmm.
is when the community members are inviting vendors or external speakers to participate in our events.
Yeah, great. And we're actually thinking about this a bit, and we like now we're talking about some participation in presentations, but as well, a community can make some kind of researches and choose for these researches. I think, can actually invite an experts who can help us with that, even if it's like some areas which is not now like heavily related to the blockchain, like not discovered yet enough. Uh, so I think that collaboration could be valuable for the community and this external expert as well.
Does the colors mean anything? I mean, should I always use the same color because I'm like the same person, or different questions, different colors? What are we doing with the sticky notes?
Yeah, I think we are with 5 of us. So for the moment, we can just have a color per
person. So
Mm.
mine is yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one taking yellow. It's
Yeah.
for Sasha.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, I'm joking. So frankly,
Mhm.
the idea is of the colors is to make it a bit colorful from the first side, but from the other side is like having those colors for the like, say, we are ready to discuss when we have like a longer session, we can discuss and the colors can let you know what is the like your question, and if someone wants to more clarification for the question, it could like bring the person the clue that okay, it's mine, and I mentioned those things. No, it's a good one, spreading awareness to other communities. So yeah, it's like advertising our effort and our knowledge and our expert within the other communities, and yeah, that could be beneficial even from the point of view of community grow with the members.
Seems we are confused with the question 2 and 3 because, well, I didn't understand the question 2, but I thought that's the rewarding part
Mm-hmm.
is the question 3. And now I have vote on proposed activities. Somebody is green, where I entered almost the same yellow in question 3. Where are we mistaken, guys?
Let's say the idea is that each community produce the kind of outputs like yeah, that could be, let's say,
Research, points of use,
right.
articles, yes, yeah.
But that's the outcome of the community. But the community reward, it means like how we should reward this kind of outcome. So let's say we think that like the article is the good idea, like to reward not the same way we are rewarding like the huge research or participation in some project, or even starting and driving
So
some
there is a certain
project.
price behind.
That's correct,
Like
right?
every outcome costs something, and
Yes.
yeah, and there is a certain function.
And,
Okay,
and another
and
idea,
then and these earnings can be spent on something which
right?
is like Yeah, so question 2 is how it can be rewarded, and the question 3 is how it can be spent.
Not exactly. So the question 2 is what we can produce, right? So we can take an activities, but we want to produce something. And
So
the
question 2
question,
is what we are producing, and
right,
question 3 how
how
we are
we are
spending the
rewarded.
reward.
No, how we are
Yeah.
rewarding for that. And
Yeah.
Okay.
So
question
basically,
4 is about what we're expecting from this monetization. So how what that here is how we can
Mhm.
like spend these tokens, or why we should keep them, like why we should hold them. So that's the kind of things. So the first one, like second one question is about what we do. Third one is how we paid for that, and fourth one is what we can do with these like tokens, with these rewards. So how we spend them. Because the fifth one is the most trickiest one. So it's about stakeholders who is actually taking part, how they participate, what they can do, what their role, what we expect from them as a community, as the other guys. So that's the another idea, another like, tricky option, and that's why we put it as the fifth question, deciding that probably we wouldn't have much time to do this, but it could be a good like homework task to put those things on the board. So let me
now,
take.
for instance, for the, oh, sorry, yeah.
No, please proceed.
So now with the fifth question regarding stakeholders, the question, for instance, could be whether there should be kind of a managerial impact in the ecosystem, because you say usually you have that hierarchical kind of line of control. If you put it as a democratic community, the community will decide by themselves. And basically the community organizes itself. So there is no basically the vote of a manager is equal to the vote of
Yep.
each of the individual stakeholders.
Right. But there is
So
another
that
question.
could be
Sorry.
yeah. So
sorry.
but if you think, okay, that should be different, or maybe the manager, there should be a manager stakeholder, there should be somebody actually having a kill switch to influence decision making, or how consensus is achieved. Then that's also valuable there.
Yeah, and there is another way of like taking part of that. So if we're uh, taking a look on the, let's say, kind of leaderboard based on a quantity of tokens held by some person, so that means from one side it could be kind of earning like points, and then could be a leaderboard, but from the other side the tokens could be let's say currency of the community, which you use to, let's say, vote or sponsor the project or the idea you're like more. So let's say someone are going to write some article or doing some kind of research, and this research require resources, and that's where community can actually take together their tokens and put them for the research. But in this case, probably we will have the situation when we need to know how that would be rewarded. So if I put some kind of tokens within the idea, I'm willing to know would it be rewarded or not, and if it is, so how and who will be like, let's say, paying for that in the future. So that could be like a good measurement of the activities. So which one is interesting for our community, which one like we can postpone for another time. Probably now it's not in a point or seems not so like suitable for mood of community or direction of community right now. So that could be a point as well.
I'm afraid, guys, we're at the end of the session, right?
Yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
we are at the end of
But
the
I
session.
think we need to share the board link on like where definitely in Teams, probably on the community side, we need to look where to do that the best and to invite everybody to participate and then probably review that second time later. And
Sure.
let's advertise on all other sessions that we do have this link. I will check with the organizers if we can well, basically glue this link to the booth and we'll see. And guys, many thanks to arranging all of this. That's I'm really ready the questions and the input, and we like Thomas, we need to proceed with the designing all of this. Yeah, it's a
Yep,
good
yep.
start, but unfortunately, yeah, half an hour is
Too
just
short.
Half an hour
peanuts.
is
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for
Enjoy
participating.
your
welcome. Thank you.
evening.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
likewise. Yeah, have a wonderful evening. Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.